As a business owner, you know you need to be doing some type of marketing to grow your business. But with so many options, how do you know what to spend your time and money on? And if you already are spending your time and money on marketing, how do you know that it's the right type of marketing and you're not wasting your money? In this episode, I'm going over how you can be sure you're spending your money on the right type of marketing, and stay to the end where I share my recommendations. Today, we are talking about knowing what to spend your time and money on when it comes to marketing, and if you're wasting your money on marketing. As we jump into this, I think it's important to really kind of talk about the different types of marketing that are out there. And you're probably familiar with a lot of them, but such as like paid ads, we got SEO, local SEO, email marketing, reputation management, messenger marketing, content marketing, social media marketing, print, and then inside of, and that's not necessarily all of the full list, but inside of these areas are a ton of different strategies. So, such as when it comes to paid ads, you have, Google search ads, or you have retargeting Facebook ads. So there's a lot of different variations within all of that. So there's a ton, right? The point is there is a ton of options. So how do you know what to spend your time and energy on when it comes to marketing so that you're not wasting your money? So here's what I see a lot in today in marketing, and especially in the niche areas of business. So such as like dental, which I'll use as an example. So there's this dental marketing agency who I'll name nameless. They're huge, right? All across the nation, or all across the US, they have a ton, hundreds and hundreds of dental offices, right? So, which is great. And I think they probably do a great job at a lot of things. And they offer things, marketing, they offer other business related things for dentists, such as like handling their payroll and other business aspects. And then marketing is just kind of like one tier of it. So they do offer a lot of stuff. So I'm not knocking them. But here's the problem when it comes to marketing and getting into these like niche marketing agencies that are kind of really just going to put you into their system, and now you're just another template. So I'll use myself as an example in this story. So in my area, there's probably, I would say, at least 5 different dental offices that I'm aware of that are using this marketing agency. So what happened one day is I'm on Facebook scrolling and I saw this ad for this office in this new location. And I'm like, oh, cool, they put a dental office over there. I checked it out, looked at their Facebook ad stuff, their Instagram. I looked at their website. Awesome, great. I see all of this stuff. I locked it in, right? Okay, I got this new dental office. That's cool. Great. So the next day, I'm scrolling through and I see another ad for them. And I see, I don't really need to go check it out because I've already locked it in. I already know oh yeah, okay, that's them. So I'm associating it to them. So I'm scrolling through the next day. I'm seeing a few ads, right? Because I'm getting what we call retargeting. I'm seeing their ad multiple times. And it's also, I'm in that location. So they're targeting me because of my location. So I'm seeing this ad. So that's great. I keep seeing it. I keep thinking of them. Then I come to find out, eventually I noticed that this ad that I'm seeing is actually for a different dental office, just a few miles down the road. I'm like, well, that's weird. It's the same ad. And I didn't really put much thought into it. And I'm scrolling and I see the same ad again, but for now a different dental office, now that I'm paying attention. And I realize as I'm starting to go to all of their websites and all of their social media, it's identical. It's 100% the same. Their website, the same. Different logo, different image, different colors. That's it. Same exact website on all of them. I go to their social media platforms, the same. Same content, same words, same image, on the same day, at the same time, on all of them. They could be the same dental office for all I know, because it's 100% the same. But the problem, and so who cares, right? It's working great. Then why bother with it? What's the problem? Here's where the problem is when it comes to advertising and you're running the same ad for the same dental office in the same area, targeting the same person, well, here's what happens is that dental office that's running this ad and paying for me to see their ad is paying for me to see their ad, and now I'm associating that ad to their competitor. So basically what they're doing is paying for traffic to their competitor, because when I see the ad, I'm thinking of their competitor because that's who I saw first. I'm not paying enough attention to, oh, it's this dental office, oh, it's this dental office, because the ads are the same. I recognize the ad and I'm like, oh yeah, it's them. So I see it. So now not only is this office not getting my business, they're wasting their money. And not only are they wasting their money, they're actually paying their money for their competitor to get my business. Come on. That is the problem. And it happens all the time. There's thousands of dental offices that are having the same exact problem. And now there's 5 dental offices are paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to send traffic to their competitor. That's the problem when it comes to some of this marketing and spending your money and knowing what you're spending your money on. So my take on that is, if you're going to go with these big agencies that are just going to plug you right into their system, then be aware that this could be the problem. The solution would be not to go to these big agencies that are just going to plug you into their system. Get somebody that's going to create a unique plan and work with you on a unique personal level and create a marketing strategy that's unique and that you have some input on, versus them just saying, we're just going to handle your marketing. Just don't even worry about it, because you probably should have worried about it. Okay, so let's move on from that story before we get too far out here. Okay, so here's my golden rule on to know whether your marketing is working or not. And it really kind of comes down to these 3 things, because there is no black and white, do this and that works. You need to kind of really go into it with understanding your goal and your objective. So what I mean by that is, okay, well, let me go over the 3 things. Understanding your goal and objective. You need to have a way to measure your marketing, and you need to have identified what winning is to you. So I'll again use myself as an example. This podcast, for example, so this podcast doesn't make us any monetary money. We don't make money from this. In fact, it probably costs us money. So, and it's also not top ranking podcast. It's not like we have a ton of viewers, right? That's compared to maybe some of these other big podcasts that are out there. So it's okay, well, are you wasting your time and are you wasting money on doing it? Well, let's go over the 3 questions. So what is the goal and objective? Okay, well, for our podcast, the goal and objective is to do what we always do and help, and to share information and be a source of useful, helpful information for people in our industry. So we're sharing what we know. That's the goal. And the other goal and objective is to leverage ourselves as an expert in the industry. So we are leveraging ourselves to someone who is interested in maybe hiring us for our services as okay, yeah, look, all this content, I see what they're talking about. I know they know what they're talking about. Okay, so that's the understanding the goal and objective. So how do we measure that? Well, we can measure it by the people that come to us and mention the podcast. So we know that, hey, I heard you say this on your podcast, or I saw you from your podcast. We know that people are coming from the podcast and that they are turning into a paying client, or they are interested in seeing our or working with us, and then we can see that they've went to one of our podcast pages and watched or viewed or listened to the podcast. So we can kind of measure it that way. The other one is, what is winning? What is winning to us? So if winning to us was having a podcast that had top ranking numbers, and then we would be failing, right? That's not what we're doing, so we would be failing if that was our measure of winning. Let's say our measure of winning was we want to make money from this podcast. Well, after a year or whatever, episode 85, we're not making a dime from this. Okay, well, it's not working, right? So I guess I could say we're failing. But that's not what winning is to us. Winning to us is having a podcast that we can do week after week while still managing our business and provide and hit the goals and objectives that we've set to hit with the podcast. That is what winning is to us. That's the golden rule when it comes to your marketing. So some of it's pretty obvious. If you're trying to run a Facebook ad, then pretty obvious. Your ad is probably for an offer. So how many people are signing up for that offer, right? That's pretty cut and dry. If you're doing some social media marketing, well, what is the goal with that? Is it to just get some brand awareness and to get people conversating? Is it to get people into a webinar? Is it to get people into a Facebook group? Is it to build a community? Is it to get link clicks on your bio to go buy this product? Like, what's the goal? How are you measuring it? And what is winning? What is failing in that? So once you can answer those 3 questions around what you're doing in marketing, you'll get a lot clearer idea of what you need to be doing. So here's some other recommendations or things to consider when you are doing your marketing. So what you see other people do isn't always going to work for you, right? So what works for one isn't going to work for the next. You're going to have to find your own way. Use what other people are doing as an idea and make it your own and test. You're going to have to test. So that's the next thing, is really testing what works and what doesn't, and expect that the first thing you try isn't going to work. So I also recommend diversifying. So if you're going to do Facebook ads or you're going to do Google ads, like do something else as well, like do some content marketing, do some YouTube videos or YouTube shorts, or do some other things opposed to just one, because that one thing can change in a second and it changes all of your marketing and your business could drop off in a second. So have some other irons in the fire so you're doing multiple things in your marketing. Okay, so also there is this concept of long-term and short-term. So when we think of long-term, short-term, we think long-term as in, let's say, long-form, like content. So putting out a podcast, doing a blog post, creating content that is going to live forever. SEO, like this is long term. Like you're not going to get results overnight with it. It's going to take time. You're going to have to put a year or so in before you start to get some traction with it, before you start getting that, the results from it. And not necessarily a year. It could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be a year and a half, whatever. It's just long term versus short term, which would be paid ads, Google ads. Like you put it out there, you turn it on, and you're going to start getting results within some weeks and versus months. And now, but you turn it off and they stop, right? So you start running ads and then that's great. You're getting leads. But as soon as you stop running ads, that stops altogether. You stop getting that traffic. Usually long-term strategies are more organic and more like they're going to be like your cornerstone type of content where it's going to live forever and it's going to grow. All right, so here are some different strategies to incorporate based off of what type of business you are. And now, again, these are not cut and dry, like do these 5 things and have success, right? It's like if you are in this sector, these are the things you should really kind of be focusing on right now. All right, so let's take just your local typical business, B2C business, right? So you're, like a painter or, it could be service, it could be, a chiropractor or a dental office. You just your local business to customer type of business, right? First off, 100% focus on local SEO. And I'm not going to get into exactly what all of these are. I'm just going to kind of mention what they are. So local SEO, paid ads that are localized, right? We don't want to advertise to the whole nation, just in a radius. When we talk paid ads, we want to do Google search ads. We want to do social ads, so Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And then do retargeting ads. So anyone who has responded or visited your website or interacted with your Facebook accounts or Instagram accounts or TikTok accounts or whatever. So that's retargeting. You also want to be sure that you are building an email list. So have some way for people to sign up for your email list. Typically this is through a lead magnet. We have a lot of episodes on that, so go back and watch that. And then as far as social goes, you really need to be focusing on Reels and TikToks as an outreach social plan, right? So doing Reels and doing TikToks are going to help you get more of eyeballs in the social world, and focusing on Instagram stories. So that is where you can really like nurture your audience. So Reels and TikToks are usually going to be seen by new eyeballs, where Instagram stories are going to be seen by people who follow you. So you're starting to build that daily community and likability. All right, so that's a local business, and that really is a good portion of businesses. Then you have e-commerce, right? So first off, SEO. Secondly, paid ads, Google search, Facebook, Instagram ads, TikTok, retargeting ads. Then you want to really focus on your email list and email marketing or automation. So this is going to be having an abandoned cart campaign set up, having a reorder campaign set up, reaching out to customers, because your email list is your buyers. So that is an important thing when it comes to e-com. And then with e-commerce, social would be the same thing. Reels, TikToks for outreach, Instagram stories for nurturing. If you are a B2B company, when it comes to, well, actually that's next, B2B businesses. So here, focus on SEO. The next thing is some form of content marketing, a long form like either YouTube videos, podcast, or blog posts, articles, something that's long form. That can be repurposed. And then when it comes to social, you're probably going to want to focus a little bit more on LinkedIn, obviously, because it's more of a B2B platform. And then TikToks and Reels, of course, there's a ton of B2B options there. And then also groups. Getting into groups is a great way to be in communities and to be that helpful advisor in your niche. So yes. And then the next thing, of course, in business or B2B businesses is paid ads, right? So Google searches, that would be the big one. And then, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok ads. Okay. So that wraps us up with wasting money on the wrong kind of marketing. I know this episode got a little bit longer, which kind of brings me to our next thing that we need to talk about. And that is what we have coming up at the first of the year. We have some really big changes coming to this podcast. A new name, a new format, and all of it is to enhance the value we bring and improve your experience with the podcast. So right now, our episode links are kind of all over the place, so we are going to be shortening those up, making them more succinct, and we have a bunch of things that we're doing, so I don't want to just give it all away. This is more of a tease than it is an explainer, so stay tuned. You're going to see these changes coming in the first part of January, so and it's going to be actually episode 90 to be exact, so when episode 90 hits, you'll see these changes, and we'll be talking more about that, so stay tuned for that. And then to wrap this up, we want to tell you about a promo that is actually started right now that you can take advantage of. And it's a promo for the new podcast changes and an early Christmas gift to you. So we are opening up our DIY website course. It's called The Wealthy Website, and this is a beta soft launch. And it's really, this course is going to allow you to go in and from scratch build your own website. And it's a walkthrough on how basically we do it, and we do it together in this video course that you can do at your own pace. Anyway, it's our soft beta launch, and it's free until the end of January. All we ask for is your honest feedback and testimonial. So if you get in there and you're like, this sucks, I would like to know that. If you get in there and you're like, man, this is awesome, I would love to know that as well. You'll have full lifetime access to the course and all of the resources that come along. There's also a Facebook group that you can be a part of, and that you'll have free access to that. After the beta launch, the course, we're planning on pricing it around that $495 price point. So if you'd like to take advantage of this offer, just go to thewealthywebsite.com and use promo code GRIND&GROW. And I'll put this all in the show notes, but it's grind and the word and grow. So grind and grow. Details will be in the show notes as always. Thank you for being here. I hope you found this valuable. Please take some time to leave us a review, and we'll see you in the next episode.